Title: The Shattered Abyss, a Cat's Stoic Vengeance. I was 41 when Selene plunged me into the abyss, standing on the jagged edge of my cliffside shack as midnight swallowed the sky, the sea below thrashing like a caged demon. Ember, my lean black cat with eyes like molten lava, paced the splintered deck, his claws clicking like a war drum against the wood. Her voice still echoed, venomous and triumphant, from hours before. "You're a dead man walking. I've taken everything." She'd orchestrated it all. Framed me for a smuggling bust at the docks, drained my accounts, torched my reputation with lies that spread like wildfire through her coastal hellhole of a town. She'd smirked as the cops hauled me off in cuffs, my shack raided, my name smeared in blood-red headlines. I didn't lunge at her, not then, but my soul roared, tearing at the wreckage of a life I'd built. Decades of grit, nights I'd pulled her from her own wreckage, all shattered into an abyss she'd dug for me. Ember didn't flinch, just stalked the shadows, his lava eyes blazing through the dark like a beacon. I'd always thought I'd fight back, break out, hunt her down, choke the life from her with my bare hands. I'd fantasized it in that stinking cell, fists bloody from pounding the walls, plotting to storm her gilded penthouse with a crowbar and watch her empire crumble in screams. Ember slipped through the chaos when I got bailed, some dockhand pal who dodged the raid, and perched on the shack's gutted frame, sniffing the ashes of my burned-out life, then leaping to the roof, unshaken, a predator in ruin. That's when the earth cracked open in my mind. What if I don't just fight? What if I rise from this pit? A force so monstrous she'll choke on her own victory. The thought hit like a tsunami, and as Ember glared down, his gaze a furnace, I chose not revenge, but vengeance, a reckoning so vast it'd swallow her whole. Ember, my stoic warlord, would guide me, and the battered stoic creed I'd scratched into my soul since my broke, brawling 20s would be my weapon. The abyss didn't bury me. It birthed me anew. Selene thought she'd finished me, left me a corpse in a cage, a broken man for the town to spit on. She'd reveled in it, her penthouse parties buzzing with tales of my downfall, expecting me to rot in despair. Fools shatter. I forge, I snarled, Ember my witness. When a storm once snapped a tree onto his perch, he didn't flee, just hunted through the wreckage, king of the chaos. I'm unkillable, I swore, Marcus Aurelius's words of thunderclap. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. I didn't grovel, didn't beg. I broke the cell silence with a laugh, cold and jagged, when they cut me loose. She called, mocking, still breathing, and I hissed back, low and lethal, barely started. No please, no cracks, just a vow. She'll dread the shadow I cast. I knew, her mind already fraying. Why isn't he dead? I didn't crawl from the pit, I erupted, and that was the first tremor of her doom. Her knife didn't kill me, it sharpened me into a blade. I'd wasted too much of my 30s, Doc Grunt, bar fighter, a man who'd bend for women like Selene, who'd sink claws into my spine and call it love. She thought I'd stay that fool, a burned-out wreck begging for mercy. Ember proved me wrong. When a rival Tom gashed his flank, he didn't limp away. He struck back, claimed the cliffs, his wounds a war banner. On my own abyss, I roared, turning her betrayal into molten steel. I ran the cliffs at night, a phantom in the dark, legs churning until they were iron. I wrote in a frenzy, savage epics of ruin and rebirth, ink bleeding across pages in a cave I'd claimed from the wreckage. Hell hones me, I thought, Epictetus's growl my fuel. You become what you give your attention to. I didn't curse her or cower. I stood in the abyss and carved a colossus, a man she'd never comprehend. I didn't fade from her world. I stormed it, a titan she couldn't outrun. Selene figured I'd vanish, another crushed soul, lost to the shadows she'd banish me to. Certainty's a noose, chaos is my crown. I learned, Ember my torch. When I tossed his old bowl, he didn't whine, just seized the cave's ledge, a ruler in upheaval. I'm the nightmare she birthed, I declared, staying loud, posting cryptic shots of me scaling cliffs, blood streaked from falls, laughing with smugglers over whiskey that burned like jet fuel. She texted, "You're insane," and I fired back, a grin in my voice. "You lit the fuse." She'll drown in her own fear. I sensed psychology's law, a war cry. People chase the untamed. I didn't slink or sob. I rose in her face, a shattered abyss she couldn't escape. I didn't hide. I blazed, and that inferno torched her throne. They worship what scorches. I saw, ember my proof. When he'd stalked through the shack's ruin, strays trailed, mesmerized by his lava glare. I'm a goddamn legend, I swore, crashing into the world, running with pirates who'd slit throats for a dime, trading barbs with mad poets who'd kill for a verse. My presence, a volcano. A blurry clip hit the net. Me, bare-knuckled, sparring dockhands in the rain, blood mixing with mud, roaring like a beast. She commented, "You're a freak." I ignored it. She'll see I'm a god others kneel to. I thought, social proof, a grenade in her skull. If they crave him, what did I destroy? I didn't shrink or vanish. My blaze consumed her certainty, a reckoning she couldn't douse. I didn't cut her off, I froze her out, and that ice was a guillotine. Silence is frail, frigid steel is king. I realized, ember my mirror. When thunder split the cliffs, he'd sit, lava eyes unblinking, a monument in the tempest. I'm frost and fury, I promised her, you still there? Met with alive, sharp, brutal, my rhythm a death knell. She'd banked on me ghosting or raging. I gave her neither, my voice a glacier, my focus a scythe. She'll feel like dust, I knew, her mind clawing. Why doesn't he break? I've been a hothead in my youth, bar fights, broken bottles, but not now. I didn't dodge or plead. My frost was vengeance, a wall she'd bleed against. I didn't run. I towered, and that rarity made her hunt me. They chase what's mythic. I learned, ember my flame. When I'd vanished to the docks, he'd prowl, forcing me to track his glow. I'm the abyss she can't grasp. I roared, her I need you met with do you? Cold, then silence, my stride of predators dance. Terror breeds obsession. I understood that primal dread of losing a titan raging in her. Can I claim him? I didn't flee or grovel. My scarce shadow drove her mad, a god she'd kill to reach. I didn't retreat. I marched through the abyss, and that stride was my scepter. Kings don't falter. They reign, I saw, ember my creed. When night swallowed the cliffs, he'd hunt, free as sin. I'm a vengeance unbound. I declared, her let's fix this hit with maybe flat, final, my worth a fortress of obsidian. She'll feel the chasm I don't cross. I knew, Seneca snarl my anchor. He who is brave is free. I'd begged too long in my past, bosses, lovers, scraps, but not here. I didn't fake or linger. My march was an apocalypse she couldn't halt, a throne she'd never touch. I didn't scream. I conquered, and that triumph was my cataclysm. Victory is a silent quake. I saw, ember my map. After a rival drove him off, he returned, claws dripping, lord of the abyss. My abyss shatters, I vowed. My body a weapon from cliffside wars. My epics a tsunami publishers clawed for. My cave a warlord's den. She saw it. Me, forged from ruin, surrounded by rogues, soaring like a dark god. And her silence bled terror. What did I awaken? I didn't taunt or prove. My rise was her end, her grave now, my empire. I didn't claw her back. I ascended, and that singularity was my shattered veil. She'll never find my echo, I knew, ember my soul. No beast matched his lava stare. I'm the abyss incarnate, I swore. My purpose, cliffs sink a life untamed, my blood. Kings don't bend, I thought her, I was wrong, lost in the void, my path a titan's edge. I've been a speck once, dock rat, bar ghost, but not now. I didn't chase or need. My storm was mine alone, a vengeance she'd never outlast. A year on, ember stalks the cliffs, lava eyes piercing dawn, while I write by the sea's howl, my cave a forge of dominion. Celine's pleas, can we talk? Rot unanswered, her ruin a whisper I've outgrown. The docks kneel to me, my books devour the world. I'm stoiccat, born from her hell, veiled in shattered glory. She buried me in hell. I clawed out as her apocalypse. Power wasn't in fighting back. It was in me, unbowed, unstoppable, a force she'll never chain. I am the storm. I breathe. My empire, a reckoning eternal.